Good afternoon, everybody. Today we have with us Dr. David Schneider with Northern Kentucky University. He is the director of the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Doctor, thanks for talking with me today.
Oh, glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it.
So we could talk about entrepreneurship and innovation forever, but maybe before we do that, give us a quick background on you and then in your role now at NKU.
Sure. Well, I've been involved in NKU since I was a student here, basically back in the 80s. I graduated in physics and mathematics. And then after graduate school, came back and taught full-time for a little while in physics and then part-time for 25 years. And taught some courses also in entrepreneurship during that whole time. And they asked me a couple of times, but this time, this is it. If you want to be director, this is a good opportunity to do this. And we like what you're doing and can bring some real world things to the classroom. So I said, yes, I'll do that. And I'm very happy to be here. I'm also an entrepreneur, of course, for many, many years in technology-based businesses, patents, licensing, and manufacturing.
That's great. Well, and you're very humble about your background, but it's you've accomplished a great deal so far. And now with this new effort at NKU with the center, maybe walk through what the efforts and what your mission is in leading this part of the organization now.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, before I ever got here, I was on the board, but I didn't do the heavy lifting. There's a lot of folks here, assistant director, all the way to the College of Business, a lot of people doing some great things. I was tasked to come in and try to provide a little different perspective. So there's a lot of different programs. We just did the ribbon cutting just a couple weeks ago for the NKU Collaborative for Economic Engagement, which is down in Covington. That's open door. That's for any businesses, anyone that wants to come in, and we can help at any stage of any kind of business, whether it's family business or partnerships. Any transitions, acquisitions, licensing, you name it. We have expertise in all those areas, and we're here to help in those areas. We also have a new program called ETAP, which is Entrepreneurship Through Acquisition. And that program is for the transitioning company. So maybe a founder that's been there for decades and wants to transition to retirement or some other reason. We can help with that buyer-seller arrangement and make it much more comfortable and smoother than it normally could be if it's just a buyer and a seller. And that program is just beginning right now this fall.
That's great. And I think, and we'll come back to that ETAP in a moment, because that's such a need to have an exit strategy for businesses. And we want everybody to have successful businesses, obviously, in the region. Go back to, I guess, the root of what everybody thinks about when they think about Northern as students. Speak to how that is connected to the ideas of innovation and how that might turn into businesses and why this is all going on at a university.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. So it's all about the students. So we're educating the students so that they, in an early stage, hopefully they get some experience in entrepreneurship, not just business classes, which are very important. Your economics or finance or accounting, those are all part of business, but actually how to think like an entrepreneur. So what is the mindset of an entrepreneur, and how is that different than the normal mindset of somebody that maybe learns it over decades like I did? I did not have that fortunate opportunity because they didn't have the program when I was an undergrad. So all my learning was through trial and error and sometimes not doing so well and learning, the hard way. You can actually teach this to people that are absorbing. You can teach entrepreneurship for those that really want to be in business for themselves, and they can have a head start into business and maybe not make as many mistakes and understand the lingo, understand what people are trying to help them with and maybe not trying to help them with. So it's navigating that business world in an earlier stage. And that's why entrepreneurship, I believe, is really important. And it's also the connections you make. So our students are connected through the whole community. They're working, they're interns, our Incubiz program, the incubator program, all those programs have students directly working with businesses or starting businesses. So it's a great education. Again, I wish I was part of it when I was an undergrad. It would have been something. So we're very proud of that.
Well, it seems like the typical or the stereotypical student that's in a college setting There's been a great deal of services around those kind of individuals for a long time, and you're filling gaps, but you're also expanding this service to those who are either just wanting to get some assistance on a business starting up, the business center in Covington now, as well as you spoke about the ETAP and the opportunity for exiting. So maybe speak a little bit more about that. And I guess one of the things I always think about is how important it is for people to build their wealth by building a business, but you want to have an exit, and you want those individuals to hopefully have that opportunity to stay in Northern Kentucky and in our region.
That's exactly right. You hit it right on the head. We want them to stay here. So if they're in a business that's let's say a technical business that they can service maybe the United States or the globe, and they shut down that business for whatever reason, that will be filled by someone. I can guarantee you it'll be filled. What we want is that transition. So if it's family type business, we want that founder to do what they need to do in their life, maybe hand it down to their children or relatives or maybe someone that's not related, so that transition can continue. The growth of the company continues. The employment, the opportunity for students, et cetera, keeps going. And with a program like ETAP, that's one of the mainstays of the program. Keep it here, keep it growing, everybody running in the same direction. And that's why we created the program. There are many businesses, 20% of businesses sometimes in a year can turn over. And that turnover sometimes leads to other people in other cities picking that up, or other parts of the world. We want that to stay right here in the region.
Well, and as your president, Dr. Vidia, has been in the role now for a couple of years. I keep referring to him as the entrepreneurship president, but he's obviously does far more than just that at the university. But when you get together and you're talking about this, why is that important for Northern to support this effort? Why should you care? You've got a lot of burdens, and there's a lot of other education to be working on. Why should Northern be involved in this? Why should Northern care about this?
Well, I think it's part of, if you have the expertise, it's part of the new world. I mean, it's anything that you do, regardless of what your major is, and regardless of what your background is, you're going to be, or you're going to interact with entrepreneurs. If you're buying some goods, or you're marketing, or let's say you have a dance studio, it doesn't matter. Whether you know it or not, you're doing business by yourself in your business or with another business. So the more you can educate yourself on how that works and what the mission is and why they're doing what they're doing, the more informed you're going to be throughout your life, whether in your business or looking at someone else's business. So it's extremely important, and our president is definitely engaged in that and understands that this is a great need for the area, and it's a major focus. It is definitely a major focus. One of the cool things about entrepreneurship is we connect to every major across the entire campus. So it doesn't matter if you're technical, if you're chemistry, physics, mathematics, or if you're in the arts, or if you're in the humanity, it doesn't matter. All of those can connect very well. And there's many, many students from all those different departments that connect with us in our classes. And we welcome that. That diversity is very important.
That's great. Well, and I guess if there was one additional thing, now that you've been in this role for a little while, are there any surprises or any things you wish that the community would know about kind of this resource that they have in front of them that they may not have otherwise known about, or that you've been able to be exposed to, even though you've been around Northern for a long, long time?
Sure. Well, I hope by my presence here that others that sometimes were almost going to reach out to do something and didn't because they think it's the academic world and, I don't know how to connect with this. Mm-hmm. Hopefully I can be a bridge to that. I hope that's and I will do everything in my power and my ability to be that bridge for those companies. So don't feel it's going to be an academic exercise where we're throwing a bunch of terms and trying to do things that you don't really want to do or understand. We're here to help you. And, because of my background, because, 30 years on the ground as an entrepreneur, I do understand a lot of what happens out there and can either, if I can't help directly, we have a network of people that can help. So don't feel shy or bashful. Just come at us, ask questions. The door is wide open at the collaborative. It's wide open at NKU for all entrepreneurs of any type, any size. We're here for you.
Well, I think that the message is very clear, and your passion for this is very clear as well. And we wish you the best with this great success. And really, it's amazing to see the execution of your team and the university. Just can't say thank you enough. and very excited to see the great results down the road.
Well, thank you. We really appreciate it. And thanks for all the support and the whole community support. And with all those efforts, we're moving forward, definitely.
Thank you, Doctor. Appreciate it.
Thank you.